Hello, this is the Pixvirus Show. So I just wanted to um, discuss a little bit of what I've been writing about on my websites about the AI. So I did some research on a watchdog that apparently the in the mythology there was a Cerberus or a Kerberos. There, he was a watchdog by that watched Hades, and it had three heads. So I had AI. I had a Grok create a Cerberus inside a computer lab, so a security operations center, a SOC. So, but we don't really want to use a Hades uh, creature. So instead, I redesigned and I told it to put a Doberman, which is also a watchdog, but a 2000 a current watchdog, not the from the ancient era. So anyway, that was my thought pattern. I created a watchdog, a three-headed watchdog, which can look at your security operations center and see everything. That's what we have to. That's what we have to do. We have to be. We have to see everything and make sure nothing gets past us. So we need like a three-headed Doberman, basically. I mean, I'm just being a little silly here. I called him Doberus instead of Cerberus. It's a Greek twist to it. So one of the things I talked about, I wrote about was the how we can make sure we don't tell AI too much. So I put this on the Oversight Sentry website, and then I also said, there was a few things in here that were kind of interesting. One of the things that AI does is it does this RAG stuff. It's a retrieval um, um, architecture. It retrieves information from the internet. So a RAG, it's got to do with retrieval. So that's the TLA, the three-letter acronym. I have to look up the actual acronym apparently, but you know, I thought I had it written down, but that's the retrieval. This is the thing with me. I got so much stuff that I'm doing. Here it is. RAG system. No, it's not. That's not it. That's a funny thing, huh? This is this is how it is. You got too much stuff going on, but apparently it's not organized well enough. So let's just do a quick search here. RAG acronym. So retrieval augmented generation. Of course. The other one is CAG, which is cache augmented generation. Let's write that down again so we can remember it next time. Retrieval augmented generation. This is, I wanted this my new version of the Fixed Virus show to be discussing AI stuff because everybody discusses AI and claims, we absolutely have to have it and we need to use it everywhere and all this other stuff. Every, everybody needs to use it. Everybody needs to have it. We need to use it in every place in our life. Well, you do have to create guardrails for how you use it inside your company. And I put a few ideas in this post here on my Oversight Sentry, I wanted to also like just discuss a little bit. This is from the NASA.gov website. What is artificial intelligence? So, you know, um, artificial intelligence is a lot of things. So if you look at this Venn diagram, artificial intelligence encompasses machine learning and deep learning. So I've, worked with machine learning for a number of years, and that's like the machine learning is a simplistic artificial intelligence because machine learning actually is basically a number of if-then statements. That's the simplistic explanation. Deep learning can be a lot of different things. So this Venn diagram just discusses like some basics. So we have to go in here to really learn a lot more about our artificial intelligence. So for example, what does NASA say about this topic? AI tools used at NASA sometimes use machine learning, which uses data and algorithms to train computers to make classifications, generate predictions, or uncover similarities or trends across large data sets. And the common methods at NASA is decision support, deep learning, natural language processing, and neural networks. So these are the classifications of AI, and these could be inside of the AI bubble, and you can place a lot of these programmatic methods. So these basically are program methods. So here, neural networks are a method to train computers to process data in a way that's inspired by the human brain, using a layered interconnected neuron-inspired structure. So natural language processing, a subset of machine learning that trains computers to understand, interpret, and manipulate human language. So that's kind of what ChatGPT is. That's what they're talking about. LLMs, language modeling. So they're natural language. They're so that way they can talk. You can talk to them without knowing a programmatic language. So in the past, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you want to talk to a computer, you need to know a program language, like Python or C, depending on what you're developing. But the nice thing about the ChatGPT, breakthrough, which actually happened around 2016, the early version of it, because that was when AI finally beat a human Go player. That's one of the videos that I've been watching. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of these things, but anyway, so AI, this is basic AI stuff. Okay, there's a lot more you can learn. So I wanted to also discuss a little bit of how we can use AI wisely, in privacy, kind of compliance, and cybersecurity. How can a how can a small business use AI wisely? Basically, that's basically it. So I wanted to remind everybody that you know Microsoft, it's Microsoft's methodology, and that is, I've been working with Microsoft for a long time. Microsoft Exchange is their email system. That's their mail system software for small businesses. So if you wanted to run your own mail system at your office in 2000, you have to run Microsoft Exchange. Well, you have to run the back end and the front end server. Then in 2007, it switched to a mailbox, a client access role, a hub transport role, a unified messaging role, edge transport role. So these are the little programmatic changes that happened inside of Microsoft Exchange. And as time went on in 2013, we're now doing mailbox, client, and edge transport role. And then in 2016, 2019, you could see um, where it is at now. Oh, I guess it's not coming into the. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can fix that. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Now you can see the 2016, 2019. So, so this is basically where we're at today with Microsoft Exchange. But essentially, Microsoft doesn't want you to run Exchange anymore. I mean, they'll sell it and you can run it if you want. But really, what they want you to do is use their cloud software. So that way, you don't have to worry about the hardware. You don't have to worry about the software. You're just going to pay them a certain amount every month or every year or whatever it's going to be. So interestingly, how Microsoft does things is they try to create software as fast as possible so that way they can start to charge for it and start to make money on it. Well, once the problem with that methodology is that errors creep in. And besides regular bugs, there's also security bugs. So I asked AI LLM Grok, I wanted to explain. Does Microsoft spend enough time with software testing instead of releasing software and finding out issues later? What engineering challenges are there to overcome before a release schedule boxes Microsoft in and essentially the user is a tester? I'm trying to find an example with AI testing which is complicated, and the front office will try to say if it works, let's start selling now instead of reviewing testing issues. Now, why did I ask a Grok this in this manner? Because the way you should ask AI is you have to frame the question. You have to. So of course, I also told AI that I am a auditor. I didn't put that in here. I'm a cybersecurity auditor. So you have to give it your role. You have to give it an objective. You have to give it context and then the instruction. So here I was trying to tell it the context and the objective, and then giving the actual question. This helps AI to box in AI, so that way it doesn't give you a hallucination. It may still do it, but hopefully it won't. So this was Grok's answer. Microsoft has faced ongoing criticism for prioritizing rapid release schedules over exhaustive pre-release testing, often resulting in post-release bugs that effectively turn users into testers through patches and updates. And here it gives a specific incident, which is cool how it brought this up. I mean, I knew about this, but anyway, the recent 2025 incidents where Microsoft acknowledged widespread breakage in core Windows 11 features, Explorer crashes, start menu failures after a major update. And here's a link even. We can go to it if you want. Let's go check it out. Microsoft finally admits almost all major Windows 11 core features are broken. Don't! I mean, what are you going to do? This is typical Microsoft. This is typical. This is nothing new. This is the way they do things. So why am I going into all of this? And I copy and paste and I ask all these questions, and I'm really just wanting to use AI for businesses. Well, I want to set up an environment where do we want to do things as Microsoft does, where we just start to use the stuff, or do you want to do things with a little bit of testing, with a little bit of forethought? So I was thinking, basically we're in a environment. Well, let me move the dog here. The dog is. I've got to move this picture now. So we're in an environment where basically we're in a dumpster fire. And yeah, I told the Grok to put a robot in a dumpster fire. So I don't know. Anyway, I told it don't, and also to write no robots were harmed in the creation of this image. It's kind of a bad, I'm into dad jokes now. So these are this is like my dad joke. Okay, I realize it's just an image, and it's an image that's Grok created or whatever. Other AIs have created images for me too. So the issue is can we actually use AI as best as possible? So I list a few things. So these are all on my FixVirus website, and I'll link to it in my for this video. How AI agents can reduce operational costs. So you can let me know what the problem with these Q and A's with AI, these AI instances. I've been asking a couple of different ones, Perplexity and Grok and U.com. I like a couple of different things. The thing with ChatGPT is it's tied to Bing. Gemini is tied to Google. And remember, they're doing a lot of RAG. They're doing a lot of retrieval augmented generation. So this is the key. You you gotta find out which engine you like to work with which AI engine. And I asked Grok here as well how to build AI agents. And then of course if you really do want to double check what NIST is doing, the National Institute of Science and Technology, they've created a cybersecurity framework for AI and for anything related for your business. They have AI suggestions too. So establish policies for AI use. But anyway, this is the Grok answer. Basically, it regurgitates what NIST is saying, which is cool. But so I think in the coming weeks, what I'm going to continue doing is I'm going to look into more AI software that can specifically help small business. And I always talk about this. What is the number one issue for small business? Phishing. So we need to find good software that will be much better at recognizing what is a phishing threat and what is a regular standard email. So I myself will go on this journey. I'm going to like redesign my websites and for the new year. I'm going to get out of my current hosting company and get to a new place. I'm going to do something different, and I want to use more AI. And like it says, I want to actually do what I preach anyway. So I'm going to do more AI with my stuff, and I'm gonna make some changes. I don't know if I'm going to keep both Oversight Sentry and Fix Virus, but for now I will. For the next couple of weeks and a couple of months maybe. But I will change some things to do things differently and to use more AI to help me with my email. I mean, I have Gmail account too, but I don't use that primarily. My primary email is my Tony Z Expires address. Anyway, so I just wanted to catch up to speed with everybody, and as we get into Christmas and the new year here, we're getting ready for the new year. So I'll get into more of these details and how I'm going to redesign everything. And I'll go through this journey together with on the Expires video blog here, V blog, whatever, and everything has a. Let's call it AI V blog. Why don't we? Everything is AI. So all right. Anyway, here's some more bumper music. I got the fancy sticks. All right. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think of this kind of thinking off the cuff. I even didn't really remember what rag was, and trying to remember it a little better as we go. So thanks for listening. If you don't hear from me again, Merry Christmas. I will be on before the New Year, so won't say Happy New Year yet. So thanks. We'll see you next time.